Hey my friends, I'm making this video just with the intention to help you to become more clear on the differences between like juice cleansing and fasting, be it water fasting or dry fasting, and maybe even the pranic state, or veganism, cooked veganism, raw veganism, and fruitarian. So I've been in my last video I talked a lot about the differences and similarities between fruitarianism and juice feasting and liquidarianism, because liquids means any liquids, whereas juice just means juice, but not and stuff like almond milk, broth, or like stuff even like vegan yogurt, or even sauces, etc. Monoform stuff is for liquids, is a liquidarianism diet. Okay, so none of this is who we are. It's not our identity. A lot of people say I am a raw vegan, or I was a raw vegan and I'm not anymore. It's like part of their identity, but truly we are souls. That's a really important thing to remember. It really truly is. It's the most fundamental root thing. Who you think you are, who you know yourself to be. When that's put right, everything else will fall into proper order and place. So it's essentially you get that right. Like we're souls journeying here, choosing a human experience, choosing our bodies, family, life blueprint, our sole purpose. So, and you're not your job or your job title, or you're not your gender, you're not your sexual preference, you're not none of that. And when we think we are, some people even kill themselves when they lose what they believe themselves to be. So that's just falsehood. Okay, so it's really important to get that right. So yeah, diving into the video a little bit more now. Like was just a quick comparison. Like juice feasting is not a fast. Fasting means abstinence from all nutriment, which includes micronutrients and macronutrients. Macronutrients are where you derive energy from. Carbohydrates, like typical like calories from, such as protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are just two different types of carbohydrates. There's long chain carbohydrates like starch, which is the plant sugars, and that's typically from stuff like potatoes, rice, corn, and stuff like quinoa, millet, wheat, all this sort of stuff. It's already formed in the plant. We call it starch. We could call it just complex or long chain carbohydrate. Simple carbohydrate means the molecules are, there's no molecule, there's no strand. It's just there's just a glucose by itself, for example, or fructose. And a simple carbohydrate is like a simple sugar. It's sweet. I like a long term carbohydrate when you cook it, but it comes from fruits. So the body doesn't have to expend loads of energy tearing down the wall to get the bricks, or tearing down the big molecule to get the single atom, or whatever it's called, the single element. So the simple sugar, the simple glucose atom, okay? If that's even the right terminology, I think it is. So the fundamental element, the core principle really of liquidarianism, fruitarianism, RawFoodism, and juicetarianism, it's all got to do with saving energy and digestion by making things simple and easy to digest. That's the general idea. Because when the body is clean, it'll it's like every organ has a power between 1 and 1,000. When the body is clean, the systems which have a power of 1 in 1,000, I'm just making that up, okay, and the organs, so the lymph system, the blood system, cardiovascular system, the nervous system, the brain, the eyes, the liver, the kidneys, the gallbladder, the heart, all the muscles, all the joints, they all have a particular strength. So we all have different genetical power in every area, and that can be shown through iridology. So this is why some people for example, could be fruitarian, but they lost their hair younger. Like Eli Martyr, he's kick-ass, he's amazing, I love him, I'd highly recommend him, he's brilliant. Orville Douglas, he's a lot older, but he's a black fruitarian. He's called the Black Fruitarian on Instagram, I think, and at least Facebook. He is sensational. The two of them are phenomenal fruitarians. They eat minuscule amounts, so that's the definition that's one of the definitions of a breatharian. You eat little to nothing at all. It doesn't mean you eat nothing. It doesn't mean you drink nothing. You're allowed to have anything you want. You're allowed to have chocolate. Some breatharians, if you want to even call them breatharians, the word I prefer, which is more descriptive, accurately, is people living more in prana. Their pranic engine is switched on more to a much greater extent, as Ray Moore would describe. He's a breatharian. Breatharians are very similar to fruitarians and liquidarians. Basically, they all have the same characteristic. They eat little to nothing at all. So Elitom Elamine, for example, on Facebook, he as well, and on YouTube as well, he's really good. Like he eats very little to nothing at all. Like he transitioned though. Like there's various descriptions of how you can transition into liquidarianism or breatharian. Some people could have, instead of eating 3 times a day, they could eat twice a day, then eventually once a day. Then eventually some of them further down the path could eat only twice a week, or twice a month, or once a month, or irregularly like that, or eat nothing but just have loads of juice or liquids, or have less juice and liquids over a span of many years though, typically. Okay. It is over a span of many years. I've done it. Anyone who's just done it. I've only heard one story, which Jasmine, one of the four leaders of this pranic living movement, and it's nothing new, of course. This is like ancient old. This is like forever old, millennia old. But Jasmine this century brought it to the forefront of mainstream. Okay, um, she told a story once of a lady who she had a vision. It was brought to her by her angels or guides to switch to give up food. So she either went straight on the water, I think straight up water, not even the liquids. And she lost obviously weight. Actually, but she was still like plump. And the reason for that is because she had emotional things to let go of. And once Jasmine helped her with that, because she held on to something I can't remember what it was, something like the burden of. She wasn't helping enough people. She was receiving love and goodness, but she wasn't spreading it out. So once she started to spread and help, spread the love and the kindness and to help more people, she lost the weight and became a more healthier, like natural slim weight. But she even told the story. She was even pooping like a year later or more. Like it could be between 1, 2, 3, 4 years later after switching to only water. She was still pooping. That's how much crap that we accumulate in our body from eating all the foods that aren't designed for humans. They get accumulated. They were never taught this, and we're deliberately not told this. But it's really funny because when we eat quite a significant portion. I'm not saying it's loads of it, okay, but it's a very small percentage, but it's significant, even though it's small, because cumulative, constant, small percentages of food that we eat that's not eliminated and kept in the body is stored as a putrefying parasite and worm and other microorganisms like candida. It creates an imbalance in an environment for disease to grow, and it creates what's called mucoid plaque. That's been proven and shown to exist. So it doesn't matter if you have doubts. That's okay. It definitely exists, and it's just one word. It's also called the serpent or Beelzebub in the Bible. So that creates like a real like thick, hardened, condensed like layer upon layer upon layer in our intestines, which means when we eat food we don't absorb it properly. So we're really inefficient. So that's why the more you clean yourself out, you can survive on little to no food at all eventually over time, because you become extremely efficient and you get into prana as well. So you're really efficient what you eat. So let's say you're 10 times more absorbent. You need to eat like 10 times less food to get the same nutrients. It's not what you eat, it's what you absorb and utilize. So when we strengthen our organs and our adrenals, for example, we will and our all of our digestive system and clean our body, we become powerful, fit and strong on our cellular level. And then it's much easier to eat. Then you have loads of energy on little to nothing at all, and you need way less sleep. All these people I described need way less sleep. So long-term raw food is like 40 years, 50 years raw food. Is they tip like I've heard stories. I forget her name. A lovely lady in her 70s now, Karen something. But she's like starting her own business, her own restaurant, and she's just full loads of energy, and she only needs around 4 or 5 hours sleep a night. I think it's more like four. or even or Eli Martyr, I can't remember how much he needs, but Orville Douglas, he's a Fruitarian 10 years. He only eats once a day, like for in 20 minutes or something. 20 to 15 to 25 minutes. One bowl of fruit, that's it. Like he is as fit as a fiddle and strong as an ox. And so is Eli Martyr. They are masters of water fasting. Eli's a master of dry fasting as well. Like they can just like they're so powerful and fit and pranic. They don't even call themselves pranic, but they are. They just got such power. They can water fast and dry fast and do loads of exercise and feel loads of energy for loads of days. And like, they just that is a top level of efficiency. And so can loads of like breatharians or pranic living, like people who are more liquidarian or eat little to nothing at all solid, or even consume little to nothing at all, even liquids too. They would definitely be so fit, powerful, and tuned in. Maybe not fit on like physical exercise fit, but they could be, and loads of them truly are. Like check out Genesis Sunfire or Orville Douglas or Eli Martyr. We're talking about professional stuntman Eli Martyr. He can do crazy, really powerful fitness moves and acrobatics and stunts. He's incredible flexibility and like ambidextrousness, and maybe not ambidextrous but dexterousness and skill. And Orville, he's just like primed or ripped, and so Eli is very muscular and toned too. Like it's just incredible. But yeah, both Eli and Orville have in common they used to do like loads and loads of water fasting before they even switched to, let's say, raw vegan diet or a fruitarian diet. So they did many years worth of cleaning their body, and then they switched. So it was really easy, little to no cravings. They're able to keep it going. So I think that's the missing link that most people have. Everybody, we're not doing enough water fasting. Like start off, let's say for example, 1 day a week, 24 to 36 hours. Then do maybe 3 days a month. At the end of the month or beginning of a new month, do 3 days. That's typically what people do. Is what Paul Bragg used to teach as well back in the day, the Braggs. Then let's say once a season you could do like a 7 day or even a 21 day water fast. It depends. Like 7 day would be typically more suggested, and once a year do a 21 day water fast. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I have to ask Orville because in one of his interviews he said he used to do like 4 21 day water fasts a year, which is pretty amazing. I wonder if he made a little mistake there. I asked him, but I haven't heard a reply yet. But yeah, that's all I really want to say in this video. Like, so yeah, they all have overlaps, and it's all about the nutrient content, or especially it's mainly about like the digestibility power. Because the more we waste on digestion, we can waste up to 80% of our energy. Everyone says different amounts of energy is used on digestion. So, yeah, long-term raw foodists, or even people who've like shorter term who've done water fasting and switched more to fruits, like simple eating. It's like Lauren Lockman too. He's like incredible, sharp as anything his brain is, and he's full of knowledge. The people who know the most in terms of what would happen if you ate right or ate wrong are the people with the cleanest bodies, and they are the people who I know so far typically are the people who are pranic for quite a while, or at least in a lot of water fasting, or even and dry fasting too. Because when your body's so clean and efficient the way it's meant to be, when you put something, it's naturally designed that way, okay? But when you put something unnatural that's not designed for the body, then the body screams and cries and speaks loudly. But if you're like really like toxic, dense, constantly poisons your inflammatory system, always bogged down and like distracted with irritants, condiments, stimulants, poisons, chemicals, drugs, like weird food that's like, is like all wrong for us and not even meant to be near us. Your body isn't sensitive anymore. Like you don't even notice that you have your smell like a million like sprays of deodorant on you. People go around. Do you ever pass by someone with like loads of deodorant on them? Oh, it's so overpowering for me. I haven't used any like drugs or chemicals in over 20 years. None in the households, on my shampoo, hair, face, for my clothes. It's all just stuff either in the health store or just stuff like water, baking soda, apple cider vinegar, or even organic shampoo or conditioner occasionally, which is rarely. Usually just water, baking soda, like that type of stuff. Literally. So I'm very sensitive, but yeah, like people like Lauren, Eli, and Orville, they all totally, and I agree with them, recommend simple raw food diet, like a simple like fruit based diet. Whereas people who've the opposite, they think when they switch to raw food or fruit based diet, or even do dry fasting and fruits, it's too much too soon. You're gonna detoxify way too much too fast, and you're gonna feel like shit and blame the fruits and say it's wrong and it's like rubbish. They'll go back to an omnivore diet, either cooked omnivore or raw omnivore. Raw omnivore is way better than cooked omnivore by a million miles, but it's still a million miles worse than raw vegan. Do it naturally and gradually, and do some fasting, but not too much, because too much too fast is like someone trying to like start off running and they start doing like a mile or 2 miles and then 5 miles a day and then 6 miles a day and 10 miles a day. They're going to burn themselves out and they're going to feel like shit. And what do? You blame running? Running's bad for you? I gave up running. It was bad for me. I discovered it made me feel really bad. My hair started falling out. So some people who switch detox too fast, their hair does fall out to a certain degree, or thins. That even happened to me. It might have been, that was in Malaysia like around like 10 years ago. But I'm not sure if that was got to do with like the super humid weather or the fact that I was detoxing, which it could have easily been the detoxing part. It really could have, because I've heard other people switch to a pranic liquidarian diet. Like literally went to a pranic session with Ray Moore at one of their events for like a week or so. The 7 to 9 day process, maybe 9 day process, and or you could call it a 9 day retreat. Everyone calls it different stuff. And her hair started like gone out, but she looks incredible now. She stuck through her hair, like she didn't go bald. I'm not saying that, like it's not that drastic. You just go bald. Everyone like in your family and your friends are like, your work, what happened to you? I switched to my diet. I was really healthy. So no one will believe you, or you won't even believe yourself if you have too strong detoxes. Like some people, like when they do water fast, they get like swollen because they have like serious hardcore poisons coming out of the system, which isn't good for them. And like it passes, it passes, and you're left. Then pain will never come back ever again. Like people had pains, headaches for like 10 years. They do a fast with Lauren Lockman. You should subscribe to all of these people I mentioned, by the way. The thing happens, they get the worst headache ever, then it goes in the next morning after their sleep and it's gone for the first time in their in like for over a decade, and it never comes back. So you should never confuse like detox for like a sickness. Never confuse getting unsick for being sick. Very big difference. Same with colds and flus. You're not sick, you're unsickening yourself. Detox symptoms, the agenda who sell you money, drugs, chemo, and all this sort of stuff, and poison the skies, the water or tap water and everything else, they will tell you their lies, and their lies about the food pyramid, that having a cold or a flu is something invisible little like nasty little invader coming to bite you and get you. But really it's the body, same with sneezing and spots on your face, or same with sneezing, same with coughing, the same with what comes out peeing and pooping. Your body's trying to clean itself. You're trying to get rid of mucus, which is a liquidy rubbish bag of waste. So always spit out your mucus. Don't swallow your mucus. Spit it out. Um, your body's just a self-cleaning thing. Like, does your house clean itself? No, you do it. But does your body clean itself, or does it have a whole lot of? Do you have to vacuum and like clean the dishes? Like, do you have to scrub your intestines, and like do you have to clean your liver clean and all? Do you have these little things you use like lasers and little like scalpels? No, 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 no. The body's really clever. It cleans itself. So that's all these mechanisms are. Sneezing is to clean your nose, your nasal passages, even your throat. You can often notice like a little bit of discharge of mucus after you sneeze in the back of your throat. I do sometimes for sure. And coughing is just you're trying to like get rid of what's there blocking your passageway. Probably mucus. You try and get it out. So like people call that sick. How silly and ignorant is that? And ignorant just means not known, but silly. If you just people just learn to think for themselves, all just becomes pretty common sense. So that's all I really want to say in this video. What else did I miss? So I don't have to do other things. 1707, lovely. That's my birthday, 7th. So yeah, anything else that I need to say? If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And in the comments below, I'll ask you, what are your thoughts, experiences on everything I mentioned in this video? For example, what are your thoughts, experiences, or aspirations as well? Your plans, your hopes, your wishes, and dreams. Yeah, it really all becomes clear the more we clean our bodies. Like that's what the Eli Orville and Lauren, like when you do fasting, even Ray Moore, he used to do 1 day a week to dry fast. Lauren has done over, I think, 1,000 days of water fasting in his life, and now he has a fasting retreat center in Costa Rica, which people report life-changing benefits from. I like all of these people. They've been all very helpful and kind. Even Anne Osborne, like she's been at 30 years just like 99.9% fruitarian. They're just also kind. They're busy, so they don't always go back straight away, but they're very busy. I've asked these people questions throughout the years and watched loads of content from various content creators on YouTube. I'd also recommend Gillian Berry. She's like really, really good. She interviews like RawFoodists, and it's just such a wealth of information on her channel. So one of the questions I'd like her, which kind of made me kind of have this in the back of my mind to make this video, is like when she interviews a long-term raw foodist like Chef Ocean. So far I've been watching, she hasn't asked Chef, because he still loves recipes, like tasty things like raw burgers and tasty stuff and dehydration. Like that's all like complex, making meal and eat food an event. But really, in terms of pure nutriment and sustenance and energy and vitality, humans made food an event and fun and social, but all animals and species not only do they all eat raw food, because some raw food is say we're the only species that don't eat raw food. You should do it because that's what we're meant to eat. But really, we're frugivores. Fruits, nuts, and green leaves. Tender leafy greens is our main real diet. Because don't just go eat raw food, like eat the branch off the tree, or eat like raw sawdust, or eat the brick over there because it's uncooked. Raw just means uncooked, basically speaking. So we have a specific diet. Like a cow is a raw fetus, but its species specific diet is grass. It's not like raw meat or raw fruit. We're frugivores, in my opinion. But we're breatharian first. We're liquidarian, breatharian first. We're pranic beings first, definitely. But when it comes down to sinking, like it's great to eat food. There's nothing wrong with solids. I love solids. No, we don't want anyone to get like an eating complex or shame or guilt. Like, make food enjoyable and live it and love it from your heart with appreciation. So definitely do that. Like, no shame in what you're doing, kind of that way. Um, but yeah. What was I saying there? I had to backpedal. But yeah, the same way as, like, for example, Chef Ocean. Like, he's great. Like, he looks so young. He's 50. He looks amazing. He's really, really, really just healthy and lovely man. He went vegan for the animals for me 17 years, maybe not 17 years ago, but when he was 24, like when I was 20, 24 as well. So he's been a vegan for 25 years and a raw vegan for 20, 22 or 23 years. And I've been a vegan for eating a vegan diet for 17 years with raw food bouts and spells and amounts all the whole way through this. Um, but what I he so someone could suggest to him, hey, listen, if you're saying everyone else eats, all the animals eat raw food, which I didn't hear him say, but loads of raw food say this. We are raw foodies because we're the only ones sick and we're the only ones not eating raw food as our diet. So we've adulterated, we've processed, we've made a big event. So we're the only creatures that made like eating like very social to the way we do. But Eli Martyr and Lauren, and Orville Douglas, they don't really eat really for an event or a big occasion or social. They do it for like power, like vitality, energy, best of health, best of longevity, pure naturalness, like the same instinctually, very instinctually. At least 99.9% of the time. Like, I'm not saying they're robots. Like, on occasion, if there's a birthday or they go out, they might eat a raw vegan, like gourmet food in a restaurant or at a birthday party. But it's once in a rare amount of time, like every few months. It's not often at all. It's very rare, but they do feel the negative effect. That's because they've done water fasting and they've eaten a very clean, natural, simple diet for so long. So I'm wondering, this would like Gillian Barry, who interviews loads of people, to ask them about their water fasting, their juice feasting, and dry fasting, how much they've fasted and done big cleanses. Because even Lauren Lockman said, even raw foodists who've been like raw foodists for a decade or two, they can still have a lot of cleaning to do. And when they'd be so surprised. He's had long term raw foodists come into him, and when they have done water fasting, they were shocked at what came out of them and how much better they felt. So Lawrence water fasted over 1,000 days in his lifetime. That's a lot of time. How the hell did he do that? And then there's John Rose, who did like 3,000 days worth of juice feasting in his life. That's pretty strong too, eh? So they both know very well about the serpent, but Beelzebub, the mucoid plaque, comes out, comes out, comes out. So I'd be curious if that lovely man, Ocean, beautiful energy, a vegan for the animals like me, if how much water fasting he did. Um, it'd be really curious to see how much he's done deep, deep, deep cleansing, because just eating a raw food diet is not enough. It's not a fast. It's not even like a very fast cleanse. It's a very significant, appropriate cleanse, but you might take decades to get to the level where you're at, where someone who's just done fasting and then switch to a simple forgiver's diet would get in, let's say, a few years, like Eli and Orville. Although they both are only fruitarians, like 10 years for Orville and 7 years for Eli. But they don't need mixes, condiments, or dehydrations. They just eat very simple like an animal, and they thrive. And they, like Arnold Ehret said, if you ever want to find out the power or the toxicity of somebody, put them on a water fast for a day or two or three. That'll show the real true health of somebody. And I fully agree. So if you do that with Eli and Orville, they hardly even notice. They hardly even eat. Like, and another thing that you'll always see with people, depending on your cleanliness factor too, how much toxicity or rubbish or pure cleanly powerness you have in your body at the microscopic level, because a capillary is only, like, say 5 millimeters or 5 micron. What is it? The capillary is like literally a fifth of a millimeter or something like that. Something absolutely tiny you can't even see. Some of our blood vessels are so small. It's incredible. The human body is such an engine. It's such an amazing like vehicle. It truly is. It's advanced machinery, including spiritual machinery with our brain and our pineal gland. We can astral travel. We have multiple bodies. We're multi-dimensional. So our oversoul even has like split into not just you as your oversoul. Like, do you have other oversouls that are part of your branching from your oversoul? You've other souls like you coming from your oversoul. You all share the same oversoul. But even on the more physical plane level, we have like we have a Merkaba potentially. We can do astral traveling. We can travel to different dimensions. We can travel across the universe. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But when you clean and become all these states like pranic, fruitarian, or a long-term raw, like multiple decade raw foodist, like even before that, you can have so many spiritual awakenings, and a lot of your untapped abilities become tappable and accessible, which is extremely exciting. Like that is amazing. Become far more spiritual. Like even Gillian Berry says, whenever she eats cooked food, she feels less spiritual. And what she kind of means is like creative, inspired, like joyful and happy, in a happy, good mood. They a lot of these have experiments with cooked food just to like go back and see what it's like. It's never a good thing. Like I find cooked food very, very, very addictive. Like it really is hard, and I go on and off here and there and everywhere. Well, not everywhere. Always vegan, and I love it. And I never wanted not vegan. Vegans, I just love animals with all my heart. So I won't get into that, but they're just divine creatures, and they're my friends and family. They're my children. They're my babies. They're my family. I just love them. I never want to hurt them or get someone else to like hurt them when I'm not there. So when you buy a lovely little package in the shop, that's like a hurt animal that's been hurt very sadly and bullied and tortured. But don't feel guilty or shame. But if you do feel a conscious and there's a little bit of a sad feeling, thinking, questioning that, go ahead and follow your heart. You're you, and I can't tell you what to do. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just looking at it. Look, yeah. You might wonder why am I looking at it, but I'm just looking at a lovely thing out there, like fields. It's a lovely. I could have done that, but I just did this. I guess I'm on the sofa. But yeah, I wish you the best. I wish you the best, and no one's perfect, and we're all doing our best. So we just want to hold each other's hand very gently going forward, and we can never pull or tug somebody going forward. You can't make a caterpillar skip caterpillarness and become a butterfly. But we can help gently and kindly with respect, love, and understanding foster a child to grow forward. And we're all grown more or less at different levels, at different topics in life. Like there's so many ways we could all grow more. Just you could be growing in one area but not growing in another area, and there's loads of those areas. So it's not like anyone's better, even if you happen to be a bit more grown in one area. You can grow in that area, but you could also have a lot of other growing in other areas that another person could be stronger or grown or matured at in their areas compared to you. You could be more in your ways as well compared to them. So just the thing to recognize is it's your ego, so to speak, when you start feeling smug, righteous, or very emotional about it. Yeah, then you're invested and attached, and you're in fear or like trying to be better than them. And another trap of the ego is they're trying to be better even if you're being worse. Like I'm sicker, I'm the sick person, I'm this identity of the sick, unlucky person. That'd be your ego, even though you're not trying to be better than somebody. Like I'm stronger or faster or fitter or better singer than you or nothing like that. But you can be a better like victim, a better unlucky person. So that's another trick with the ego there too. So just be careful. So when you're not really emotional and you're not finding your identity in it, and you're not like when it's just all like pure level playing field and it's like it feels soft, sweet, and nice, that's not your ego. That's your heart or your higher self. Okay, it's your heart. That's your true self. I am love. I am the light. I am the soul. I am the light divine. There's a soul mantra. I am. I am will. I am fixed design. There's a lovely thing I'd recommend, the soul mantra, and this thing called the rainbow bridge technique is a very powerful and spiritual thing I have to highly recommend. I did it before and I'm going to start doing it again. But I remember in around that time when I was doing that and then this other like spiritual practice, I remember like people sometimes this woman stopped me in the street and said I got like Christ. She could see everyone's aura all the time. She said I have like Christ consciousness. This is like how long ago was this? Like 13 years ago or more. I feel I've grown some. I know I've grown exponentially since then, but it must have been something about what I was doing. And life was simple and easy. Well, it was simple for me back then, and it was relatively easy compared to now because I had way less things going on and responsibilities in my life than I do now. But I remember a woman just stopping me in the street saying, "Wow, your aura is like beautiful. It's amazing. It's like the nicest, like the best. That's the nicest, purest aura I've seen of everyone in Ireland. I've looked at even from just walking around the place in Dublin and everywhere, all around the streets of Bray. She stopped me in Bray. She said I got like you got like a lovely like I can't remember like gold or like white gold sparks coming at the top and white aura is like just beautiful. And she asked me questions to try and help her in life, but I just said I don't know if you should move to the country or not. It's up to you. You have to follow your own intuition and guidance and that. But I thank you for like I haven't developed those parts of me, but I have what I have, and you can see what I have, and thanks for sharing. Yeah. I am innocent and pure like a child and an animal in so many ways, and that's why I don't hurt animals or children, because they're the same, basically speaking. But that's just my opinion. I don't like people hurting animals or children. They're just the same for me. But other people don't see it the same way, and I wish they did, but it's hard not to try and control or change people in life, isn't it? I'm just speaking pure honestly. That's just the way it is. I like to share my innermost, deepest thoughts with people, both you and my family or friends, people I meet. Obviously, sometimes, like, it's not a just sometimes in my life only. That's all. But yeah, that's all I want to say in this video. I hope this video helped. Yeah, lots of love. Thanks for watching, and thanks for everyone. And please do like, share, and subscribe, or leave a comment. And I appreciate everyone doing that, or leave my video playlist on your channel if you have a channel. And if you want to become friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, or even um, Odyssey, another video platform, just go in the comments, the description below. Click on the link, and you can befriend me. Leave me a message and say a little brief hello, hi, and personal message rather than just a friend request with no one saying anything about themselves. I live in Ireland, so if you have any like thoughts of a collaboration or if you just want to say hi, please do. And that's all we want to say in this video. So yeah, lots of love, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, so have a great day, and don't forget to be happy, fun, silly, and feel all your emotions. Don't worry if you're happy, sad, depressed, down, angry. Check out some of my other videos or other people's videos in this regard, and get some help with the whole mental, emotional, spiritual, which this channel is mostly about, to help people in that way. So yeah, just trying to do a little part. That's all, because there's millions of healers and there's millions of ways we can learn and grow. It doesn't have to be one way. It doesn't have to be a healer. It doesn't have to be a psychedelics. It doesn't have to be meditation. It doesn't have to be this way, this way, this way, this way, that way. It doesn't have to be liquidarian. It doesn't have to be any way particular. So we'll all find a way in due time. So don't worry. You're exactly where you're meant to be. So don't worry about that you're not. And you are enough. Your life is enough. And this moment for you is enough. It's enough for me, it's enough for you. So just say that to yourself and give yourself credit and be proud of yourself. Okay, and be proud of others who are doing their best in your life too, and your relationships will blossom, be it your partner, parents, family, or children. And we can't change people, but we just do our best. We just do our best. That's all. Just live from the heart. That's all. That's all. So look forward to hearing from you down below in the comments and social media as well if you want.